Happy Monday, welcome to a new vlog. Hi Eiley, did you miss me at work? I got a letter today that was the update on basically the results of how I did in my interview. And without going into too much detail, I did really well. I did like literally about 10 times better than I did 2 years ago when I had my last interview for this job. I did make a boo-boo. I cannot find my swipe for work, my ID badge, and the lanyard that it goes on. Haven't a clue. I walked out of work on Friday afternoon and I remember taking it off and I thought that I put it in my bag, unless it slipped out of my bag and landed on the road. And then I went to Mr. Price and then I came home. And so I went to Mr. Price. I searched my car, couldn't find it. I went to Mr. Price and they said they don't have it, but they will have a look to see if I dropped it anywhere along the way on their CCTV. Anyhow, there is one other option that the swipe could be in this room because it's a bit messy. So maybe after dinner I will tidy a bit and we'll see if it shows up. So I cleaned off this table, which is where I thought it could be. I thought maybe it might have slipped down the back or something, and it's not there. And now I'm gonna have to sort through all this stuff. You gonna help me, Eiley? You gonna help me sort through it? This area has been kind of tidied off. I tidied off there. My bed looks a mess, but don't worry, it's organised chaos. So the stuff that's on my bed is going to go back onto my chair. Some of it's going to go to be washed, and then leaving that table kind of free, which is not the best idea in the world potentially with Eiley, but I can put my bags up on it and it'll be fine. So yeah, it looks a little bit of a mess, but it's not. Happy Pancake Tuesday, everybody! Since it's Pancake Tuesday, obviously we had pancakes for dinner and it was actually really nice. Normally I kind of like pancakes. They can be hit and miss. I'm not like the biggest pancake person in the world. I know a couple of weeks ago I did have pancakes. I made them from my Gilmore Girls cookbook and those were really nice. They were buttermilk pancakes with blueberries. Oh, they were so nice. They were unusually nice. Like I said, I'm not usually a big pancake fan, but I had 5 pancakes for dinner. I can't remember the last time I had 5 pancakes. So what I did with them was I got some custard in #SuperValue the other day from the Coconut Collective. So it is a plant-based, coconut-based custard, but it didn't have a big thick coconutty flavour. And I had some of that, and so what I did was I also got caramel sauce, salted caramel sauce from #SuperValue, and it was really nice. Normally I get the Bon Maman salted caramel sauce, but the SuperValue one is delicious. And so what I did is I put a little bit of butter on the pancake just to melt, and then I put the sauce on top and I like mushed it in, and then I put just a drizzle of the custard on top of that, and then I rolled it up and chopped it up and ate it, and oh my god, it was so nice. I'm just turning off my lights because I'm getting ready to go down to the brewery and some of my Pepsi from dinner, and I'm absolutely freezing. I just put on my hoodie and I forgot to turn on my radiator. Hi Eiley, are you coming downstairs? She's been very affectionate. I'm home from the brewery and I texted my father yesterday morning and I said, hey Dad, could you just check the kitchen to see is my fob for work there, because I can't find it. Thinking I know that I had it on Friday. I left work, I went to Mr. Price, I came home, so I thought maybe I'd left it on the counter when I took stuff out of my handbag. Wasn't there. And then he said, I also just went up to your room and checked your other handbag, the one that I use when I'm going shopping or like going down to the brewery, and it's not there. So I figured I'd check Mr. Price. Went to Mr. Price yesterday, they said they didn't have it. Grand. Ordered a new one today, went to Brewery Lane tonight, came home, put my hand in my bag to take out my keys, felt the lanyard, pulled it. It's my work fob. So I said it to him. I said, you searched my bag, did you? He said, well, I just looked in and I didn't see it. I didn't like take the things out of your bag because I've got like my shopping bags in there. He said, I didn't take your shopping bags out to see it. I've changed into my pyjamas, but I'm still a bit chilly, so it was very cold. It was very cold down the brewery. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, I think I might put on my snooty. My warmest roommate strike that, reverse it, yeah. My room is warming up though. It's Tuesday? No, it's not, it's Wednesday. It's Ash Wednesday. I really should have been able to remember that. Anyway, I'm tired. It's been a long day, emotional day. The house my mother grew up in had been not lived in for a couple of years because my uncle sold it. And it was bought by a chemist, and they're going to be knocking it and building a chemist shop, pharmacy in this place, and a cafe, and they're knocking the building next to it as well. But it's just been sitting there derelict for the last couple of years, but they boarded up the windows and doors and stuff. And then today, when I was going downtown, I saw that they had the boards and stuff off the windows because they're getting ready to knock it. That's just sad. It's almost 7:10, so I'm ready to go down to Bury Lane just to change my jeans. I'm actually really cold. It was so hot in work today, and then when I came home, I took off my jumper and I immediately felt cold, and I put on my hoodie, my zip-up hoodie. But now that I'm putting on this one to go down, and I'm so chilly. My toes feel really cold. It's almost midnight, and I realised that I've done nothing. I came home from the brewery at about, it must have been just around 9 o'clock. And I sat down and I started watching some television, and then I just did nothing. I was going to wash my hair, and then I decided, you know what, I don't feel like drying it, so I'll just use dry shampoo tomorrow and I'll wash it tomorrow evening. I'm hungry. I didn't have the most satiating dinner today, but because it's almost midnight, I'm not going to have anything to eat. It's almost 10 p.m. I finished work around 5, and then I went to Mr. Price and I got some treats for Eiley, and then I got some mouthwash because I've been out of mouthwash for the past 3 weeks, and so I needed mouthwash. I used usually Oral-B whitening. It has 0 alcohol, but they didn't have that. I haven't been able to find it anywhere recently, so at least in store. I've been able to get it online, but I prefer to buy it in shop. So I ended up getting Colgate Max 1 purple whitening mouthwash with 0 alcohol. I'm not a big Colgate fan, but it'll keep me going. And then I bought some treats for myself too. Just a packet of Walker's toffees. Sometimes when I'm relaxing in the night time, I just need a little something sweet. So I thought, Walker's toffees, they're a good way to go, except that there are some banana ones. I hate banana. Those I will give to my mother. Right now I'm going to change into my pyjamas and I'm going to watch some television. I watched a documentary on Disney Plus. I think it was released by Hulu last year. I think it was last year. It could have even been the year before. Anyway, it was called Daughters of the Cult, and it was really interesting. Basically, it was about this fundamentalist Mormon group who they set up in Utah and then were basically ousted and went to Mexico. And the founder of the group, they're basically, just to go back, it's the LeBaron family is what they're called, and their father Ervil was the leader of the cult, right? He had 13 wives and at least 52 children. But his father had kind of separated from the church when they decided to outlaw polygamy and set up in Mexico. And then when he passed away, his sons took over, and Joel was running the church, and then Everil, I think that's how he said his name, or Ervil, something like that, he didn't and he said, I'm actually the leader, I'm the one that gets the messages from God, not Joel, he's a false prophet. And so he Joel, and then he split off and set up his own church, and then came back and Joel, and then another brother or one of Joel's sons or something. Anyway, basically there was a split in the family and all this thing happened, and it's basically just really interesting about how these young people, they're not that young, they were born in the 70s, so they're in their 40s and 50s now, but how they grew up in the church, in this cult, not even in the church but in this cult, and how they escaped and how the cult fell apart. But it's really interesting. And then that led me to another cult documentary, and this one is called oh god, I can't remember what it's called. It's it's something about youth. Stolen Youth, I think is the name of it. Anyway, basically this one, I'm only on the second episode, and it's about a group of teenagers, basically, because they were all like 19 or 18, in Sarah Lawrence, which is a very small liberal arts college in New York. Anybody that's watched 10 Things I Hate About You knows. Well, they don't know what Sarah Lawrence is, but they've heard of it because Kat wants to go to Sarah Lawrence. Anyhow, so this group of people, they're around my age now, and they were in Sarah Lawrence, which is a campus of only about 1,500 students or something like that. It's a very small college. And basically one of their people, 8 friends, moved into one of the houses together when they went into their second year. And one of the people living in the house, their father, like just got out of jail and started staying on their couch, and then basically got not all 8 of them, but got a couple of them into this cult that he set up. So it's horrific, but it's interesting. I love a good true crime / cult documentary. They fascinate me. Like I really liked that one on the Nexium cult, and I really there was another one I watched, and it was really interesting. Anyhow, I'll probably continue watching Stolen Youth while relaxing. I know, I'm one of those people, I'm such a millennial, I relax by watching true crime documentaries about cults.